Now, it took us nearly 2 years to win our first major export contract. We were a small company in West Auckland competing against global multinationals, and the project was worth 20 million New Zealand dollars roughly for an international airport system in Chile. That experience taught me some powerful lessons about what it really takes to break into global markets. So, over the coming months, I'm going to share a few reflections from my experience leading export growth, lessons about entering markets, the persistence required, and what it really takes to scale internationally. Now, one experience that really shaped my thinking was one of our early breakthroughs when our CEO of the baggage handling company Glidepath. At that time, the owner, he had brought me in with a very clear mandate to transform the business into a truly global company. Now that challenge, it was significant. We were competing against large North American and European multinational companies. Yet we were operating from a small facility tucked away in Glen Eden, West Auckland, in a country known internationally more for sheep, rugby, and natural beauty than for high-tech airport systems. Despite that, we set our sights on winning a major export project beyond our existing Australian and New Zealand marketplaces. And it took nearly 2 years of preparation and positioning before we secured our first win. A project approximately 20 million New Zealand dollars to design, supply and install the baggage handling system for the newly built international terminal at Santiago Airport in Chile. And that project, it became a major strategic milestone. It created a beachhead into the region and opened the door to further opportunities that we progressively pursued across the wider South American market. And what that experience reinforced for me is that export success is rarely just about product or simply spotting an opportunity. It begins with choosing the right market and developing a clear strategy to compete effectively, often against much larger players. In our case, we made a deliberate decision to focus on Latin America rather than continuing to compete head to head in the highly contested SCN markets. We quietly researched upcoming airport developments and we targeted projects that actually had secured funding but had yet to go to international tender. That approach, it led us to the Santiago Airport's opportunity. And because we identified it early, we had time to position properly. This was key. We developed relationships with local partners. We studied the market conditions and incumbent suppliers. We invested time learning the language, and we built a combined Kiwi-Chilean project team, and we even established a local subsidiary to demonstrate our long-term commitment to the region. And perhaps the most important lesson was the importance of persistence. Now, 2 years, it's a long time for a business to pursue an opportunity without guarantee of success. It tested both our resolve and our financial patience. And what it very clearly showed is that sustained export growth depends not only on market opportunity, but also on organisational readiness. Often the real constraint to growth, it isn't demand, it's whether the structure and capability of the business has evolved quickly enough to support expansion. So, I'll be really interested now to hear how others have experienced that journey, particularly the balance between market selection, persistence, and internal readiness when scaling internationally.